Hi everyone! Welcome to my little corner on the internet where I talk about knitting and yarn and buying yarn, not buying yarn, on all my projects. Sometimes I talk about crochet too. We'll talk about crochet today. My name is Benedict, but my friends and family call me Bene. I live in the north of Paris with my partner and my two teenager daughters. It's been a while. It's been a month. I've been working and with a cold and then with allergy, so I couldn't record. But today it's quite sunny and warm and spring, and I feel like full of energy and ready to share all my different projects. I'm on my break, so I'll keep it short. But I've been casting on like crazy. I don't know if it's the weather, the change of weather, you want to finish the things and then start new things because the weather is changing. So I think this episode is going to be a mix between trying to focus on the things I started, on the things that I wanted to knit during winter, and new impulse and inspiration because I bought yarn. Okay, so let's start. So last summer I started a summer top. I call it my Bridgerton top because when I saw the last season, I saw the main character Colin wearing a vest in those colors, in brown, like it's called Nougat, this color, and indigo, and I just thought I love the color combination, so I casted this top. It's called Everyday top. Okay, that's the moment where I don't remember the name of the pattern. Where is my... Okay, I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember the name of the designer. So this top is very nice. It's knitted in two colors in linen from old yarn. Let me show you. No, Isaiah. I'm saying stupid things. That's not it. Isaiah 100% organic linen in indigo and Nougat. Here is my notes. I'm knitting size 4. I'm knitting size 4. Everyday top by Susan Sommer. And I started it the 7th of July of last year. And I knitted it during the holiday, and then I got stuck. I couldn't do it anymore. You knit it in you knit it flat. You knit. This is the front and this is the back. So you start at the top. It's top down raglan top, and you do the shoulder shaping here, and the shoulder shaping doing increases and back and forth, knitting the front and the back. And once you arrive at the back, at the bottom of the sleeve, you start knitting in the round. And my problem was that I don't know, I know what happened. You supposed to knit, it's pearl stitches, but you need, it's complicated to explain. To give this fabric, at some point when you knit in the round, you have to be attentive to purl when you need to purl and knit when you need to knit. And that's what I did wrong. So I did one mistake here. I unraveled that so many times that I decided to leave it and keep it as a feature of my top. And I think that finally I think I understand why I was mistaken. Okay, I'm a bit disabled. I'm disabled, and so part of my disability, except from needing a walking stick to walk, is that I struggle to understand left and right. And it's not the first time that reading a pattern, when I need to knit the front right, the front left, the back right, the back left, I mix things and do it the wrong way. And that's what happened here. At some point I needed to be on the right side knit, and for me it didn't make any sense. So I cut the yarn and tried to understand, and what happened is that for you it's going to be very obvious. It depends how you look at the garment. If you look it that way, what's left is left and what's right is right. If you look it that way, what's left is left and what's right is right. I don't know. So I this time, because I unraveled it like 5, 6, 7 times, I put a collar stitch to help me figure out what's left and what's right and what's front and what's back, and helped me a lot, because this time I think I'm okay, because I'm knitting in the round, and I can see that it's not wrong. I don't know how to. Anyway, me and my disability trying to make it work. But it's okay, it's working, and maybe I'll be able to wear it this spring, so I'm quite happy. I'll just have to knit to the bottom and the hem, pick up stitches around the collar. I think I need to do an I-cord, and then I think pick up the stitches around the armhole to make short sleeves. My only concern now is I'm really not sure I'll have enough nougat. But you know, I can just order one ball of yarn or finish in blue. I'm not sure. I think if the color, you're supposed to pick up the stitches and do the I-cord in blue, but I think I still need to knit stripes for the sleeves, anyway, it's, I can still buy one ball of yarn, I suppose. So finally it's going well. I was about to give up. I unraveled it 7 times. I really struggled. I left it for a while because I was getting very frustrated, but I think that at last I'm on the right path, and I'm knitting. Even though I've started a lot of things and cast on a lot of things, that's what I'm knitting right now. I'm not knitting anything else. I'm crocheting, but I'm not knitting anything else. Okay, so that's my first whip, the most active knitting whip I have. But then I had an impulse. I don't know. Should I talk first about my impulsive cast on buying yarn and starting a new thing, or should I talk about how I was being very good at knitting from my stash? Okay, impulsive cast on. So as I said about the everyday top, I was watching the Bridgerton, and I saw the color combination of one of the male character, and I had already had a pattern in mind, and then the color of one of the garment of the character just mixed with the pattern. So I do that quite often. I don't know if you do that now. If you're a knitter, you look at film and series, and you look at the garment and the color combination and shape of garment. So the other day I was watching K-drama with my girls, and the male character was wearing a very beautiful brown dark chocolate very long cardigan. And I don't know if you watched my last podcast, but I was telling you how I wanted to revisit some of my old, nothing is very old because my knitting journey is not that long, but I've done a Badana cardigan last winter, and I'm not wearing it because my daughter stole it from me, and she's wearing it now. So I was planning on knitting another one, but it was a long-term plan. I wanted to start it next winter, and then I saw this cardigan in the sari, and I think that I bought the yarn the day after. And I started this new whip on the day I received the yarn. So here it is. Maybe you can see this combination. So I bought it's French yarn called Gilliatt from Dererum Natura. It's gorgeous, very dark brown. It's cacao shade, and I think it's worth it yarn. 250 meter for 100 grams. And I really love the Ito Sensai silk mohair that I knitted just this winter for my cardigan in purple. So I bought this yarn. It's Ito Sensai in the colorway Coke. So I was not sure about the color combination because I love this yarn, I love the color, and I love this color, but I was not sure of the results. It's weird because sometimes it's like the yarn, both color are beautiful, but they are not mixing well together, and that's what was my first impression. But now it's growing on me. I think I'm not going to unravel because I'm starting to like finally the combination. So the Badana cardigan is from Rosa Pomar from the magazine Line. It's an old one. It's this one, Winter 23. So you can see that you can kind of see the silk, but it's not very, it's not very obvious. There is like halo effect. It's very, very, very soft. So I'm knitting size 3 because I think my gauge is really off. I'm knitting this on the US 10 6 millimeters, and I'm not sure what the pattern calls for, but I've knitted this before. I'm right on gauge, so I'm sure it will fit. So you start from the back. You have a few short rows, but not too much. You need the back panel, and then you pick up stitches to knit the front panel while doing some increases. I've done one panel and then I've stopped because I thought that I was really enjoying this knit. This yarn is just gorgeous. Both yarns are gorgeous, but I was about to give up on the everyday top, and I felt that I have to try to figure out a way to go forward. So I unraveled everything from the beginning and start over. So I stopped knitting that. It can be a long-term project because the weather is going to be warm. It's going to be back and forth purling and knitting for a while because the cardigan is very long. It's an oversized look. So that's my spontaneous cast on yarn acquisition. Okay, so let me explain just a bit. Here you are in my living room, and that's where I knit. Here there are some books and some yarn. Here it's a small cabinet that my friend Sarah gave me before going back to Australia, and inside there is yarn. Then on the floor there are 2 baskets of yarn, and then on this on my chair there is a bag with more yarn here. Upstairs I've got 2 boxes of yarn, 2 baskets of yarn, and then I've got bags, like tote bags, full of yarn on the, how do you call that? I'm going to miss this word, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. In the stairs, on the top floor. Anyway, so before I moved in this house, I had a we had a share office room with my husband, and one wall was just my wool. And when we moved in, I don't really have an office to work, so I have a small space. That's where I have my yarn upstairs. But it's very dark and sometimes it's noisy when the children are at home. So that's not where I need. But I didn't really have a storage solution, so I just left the yarn in the tote bags when we moved in, and that's where it's been since. It's been like that for 3 years now. And I would like to knit all the bags because I'm quite organized. So in each bag there is a yarn quantity for a project. It's not random yarn. Each bag is a project with the yarn, and I think I have the pattern too. So it's just, I'm ready to knit. So my intention is, okay, I can have impulse cast on, but I need to pick up a bag and knit a project. So that's what I did. I'll talk about this after this. I'll talk about this maybe if we have time later. So this bag that I made while we were confined is full of yarn. It was supposed to be to knit a shawl from Andrea Maori. I can't remember the name of the shawl, but I had Malabrigo Rios in charcoal grey, purple, off-white, and pink. It's not the name. It's a rosebud, I think. I'm not sure. I'll put the precise name of the yarn in the description box below the video. So after 2 years of putting together a bundle of shawl and blanket and things, and pondering whether I wanted to make a shawl or if I could make a blanket with this yarn, I decided to make a blanket, because at the end of the day when I'm cold I just put on a blanket around me more than a shawl. And then I thought, okay, my house is modern, and the furniture, everything is quite modern in my house. So I didn't really want to make a very my plan was to do a modern blanket, like a bit like that, this one, like, but at the end I started making granny squares. I don't know why, but it started as an impulse, and now look at how many granny square I have. It's 2 weeks of granny squares. Let me show you. Let me do that, because each time I put things on the table, the camera is moving. So it's not blocked. Finally I decided to stop overthink things and just start making something with all this beautiful yarn. So I looked at different granny square pattern, and my idea was that I didn't want granny pattern with too many holes. I wanted the granny to be a bit to be full. Then I thought, okay, I'm not going to do color combination in the granny square, because then I'm going to overthink the color combination. So my plan is to use all the yarn that I have to make granny squares. I'm going to see how much I can make with one ball, because I have only one ball of pink, one ball of gray, and then I have 2 balls of purples, and then I think I've got 2 or 3 of white. So that's where I am so far with the pink. I think the granny is a sunburst granny square. So I'm making all of them. I'm going to check to count how many I can make with one, and then I think I'll need to buy more yarn. It's silly to try to knit from stash and then buy yarn to finish a project, but I think it's okay. I mean, if I need to buy 2 or 3 balls of yarn to finish, and I'm going to buy the yarn only when I'm done, when I can see the result on how far I can go with what I have. And then I think I'll need to think about color combination, because I don't really have pink and purple in my living room. I have white and I have gray, so I think I need to find another color to blend it a bit more. I'm very happy. It's a perfect project, because I'm knitting every day, and when I'm fed up with knitting, I can do one granny or half of one and leave it. So I'm quite happy that I started that. I just took the bag from upstairs and sit and said, okay, let's make something with this bag, and I intend to do the same with the rest of the bags. So that's why this bag is waiting for me here. I took it too. I took 2 bags, and I said, okay, I'm not going upstairs. This one is my next project. Let's not try not to. I'm going to try to stick to that. And little by little, just make things, because I think this is a sweater for me. Then there is like a sweater for my husband, a sweater for my daughter. I think 2 sweaters for my daughter. So, just have fun and knit. Then, still trying to, sorry about moving the camera again, go through my stash. So I have this left from my Whitmore cardigan, this, and 1 ball of mohair, 1 more, but I'm not sure I'll be able to use it entirely. So I was planning to make mittens, but I did just the ribbing and then I stopped, because I thought that it's something that I could bring on holiday. In May in France, we are notoriously known to be on long weekends for the 1st of May and the 8th of May, and usually people go away and do like a small family trip, so I might take that with me. So it's not bothering me to have this whip. It's not on my mind. I know that I'll be knitting it at some point. I like to have small projects that are just ready to go, that I just have to pick up and knit. And for the same reason, and because I was buying yarn, I bought that with the Ito Sensei. Anyway, I was buying yarn, so I could just buy 2 more balls of sock yarn, because if you watch my previous podcast, you know that my husband wants a new pair of socks. Those are the colors of the flag from Andalusia. So I think I'll have to, like the mitten, I think I need to just start to have this pair on my needle, but this I want to bring for the summer holiday. So we are not, we're on the the last month of March, 31st today. So I have time to start and knit that. Okay, so you see, I've been quite busy. What I would like to crochet or knit in a not too far future, except from the mitten and the pair of socks, because I'm always planning like 2 or 3 projects ahead. Like I have 3 pair of hands and I can just do all the things. So I've been watching a new podcast. It's a visual vlog about, it's more than knitting. Oh, I can't remember her name. It's a visual diary of a very talented woman. She's from Japan, but I think she lives in Canada. And her podcast is with music and subtitles. She doesn't speak, and we can't see her face, but I love her podcast. It's beautiful and calm and soothing, and what she makes is just beautiful, and she gave me a lot of new idea about things that I want to make. So you can't see it, but I'm not going to move because you're going to move the camera again. But I have this cord, twisted sizzle thread, and I have more. I think I'm going to try to mix. I bought something like that, but it's not the same material, and I can't remember the name in English because, you know. And I bought this that I can't show you 4 years ago, and it was in a bag upstairs. I took it with me, and I said, okay, I want to do a basket. And you know, I've been wanting to make one for like 3 years and didn't get around to do it, and now I have all my granny squares lying around, and it would be quite handy to have it. But so I've been watching video of how to make a jasmine stitch in crochet, how to crochet a jasmine stitch to make a basket. I'm not particularly good at crochet. I don't know the terminology. Each time I have to crochet, I look at the pattern, I look at the name of the stitch, watch a video, remember it, and then make it work. But I don't know what kind of stitch I make. I can't remember, because what gets me very confused is the American terminology and the English terminology, and I don't know. Maybe I should just watch a French video to crochet, but I don't know why. It's very weird. But the reason why I'm making this podcast in English is also because I'm mostly knitting in English, and I read the pattern in English, so I guess that it works for me for crochet, except for the American and English terminology. So, will I make a basket before the end of summer? Remains to be seen. I don't know, because I've been knitting a bit less. I've been working in the garden a bit more. I think we are going to do more things outside. The girls have like sports and dance and rehearsal, and I like to go on walks outside, so I guess I'll knit and crochet less. But it's okay. Whenever I have an idea, I write it down in my small knitting carnet. You say carnet? Notebook? Okay. And I write it down, and sometimes I just see, for example, I wanted to knit what I'm wearing now, the pink velvet. That's my new finished object, by the way. And it's written ID of yarn, how much yarn I have to buy, and I wrote that on the 22 of January of last year. So whenever I have an idea, I write it down here, and at some point it exists. So look at this, beautiful. It's perfect. I love it. So it was the elephant in the room. I didn't talk about what I was wearing today, but it's my pink velvet sweater from Andrea Maui. and it's finally finished, and I'm wearing it all the time, at least once or twice a week. I love it. So it's in the woolly knit cone, held double, and it's chaos yarn. So it's brushed alpaca, and it's my first colorwork sweater, and I really like it. I think I'm going to make another one, but I think I'm not going to do the color work. I really like the shape of the sweater. I'm not going to stand up because disabled, so I'm not going to stand up and fall, you know. But the shape is just perfect. It's fitting me perfectly. So I might knit another one with the I have dark gray left, and I have another cone, so maybe I'll do a stripy version. I'll write it down if I think I'm going to write down this idea, because I bought 3 cones of woolly knit 2 years ago, and I'm not done knitting that. So very, very fun. If you want to comment in my video and tell me what you're going to knit for spring, just do it, you know. I love pattern idea and color and yarn and all that, so be free to comment. And that's it. I hope to see you very soon. Bye.